Well, I've written a couple lines down from X Machine, so I don't know how much you want to get into it. But there's one line because when machines feed our pain. I wondered where that line came from.
Yeah, I mean, well, you think about where society is today, right? You know, I mean, where's the line going to be drawn where there's no human interaction needed at all? Where are we just going to stay at home with our little VR glasses and, you know, play our rock shows here in Germany from my comfortable basement from afar, while all my band members are in their basement, but we're all in this virtual world? Or, you know, I mean, when's the last time we went to the bathroom and didn't have our phones with us? You know, I mean, I remember when magazines were relevant. You know, like, you don't need that anymore. You know, you can go do anything now with your machine. So it's a question we have to ask. You know, were we born to die this way? Is another lyric from the song, and that's a question I'm always asking myself, because you know, when you think about that question asked, if you were deserted on an island and you had to bring one thing, I mean, how many of us would not want to bring our phone if you really were put to the test? As long as and you could have service anywhere on that island, what are you bringing? Are you bringing your family, or are you bringing that phone? You know, it's like it's a very funny question, because it's very serious, and it's a reality, and where we are today in this day and age, and technology, and where that's going to take us, and for better or for worse.
In terms of the music business then, because well, you have social media now that you kind of have to be involved in, but then you also have all this technology allowing you to do new things in music. So where do you see technology fitting in with kind of how you make music?
It's a big thing in a way, right? You look at, like, just from where you are when you're using Pro Tools. I mean, you used to record on tape, and you had to sit there and play the take till you nailed it. Now you can chop things up all you want, or you got a DJ that can play in front of 1 million people and just press with his fingers. You know, there's no right or wrong, right? I mean, if you can create and you're creative, that's what being a musician's all about. So, I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, I really don't, to be honest, I'm not thinking about it in depth, because I'm so busy trying to just survive in this business. I don't really spend time focusing on the things I can't control. I just, you know, you try to take those things that are given. Social media is, the positives are, they give us a link to our fans. You know, right now, if we release a song, boom, I'm going to know what fans are feeling. You know, back in the day, you could release it, you don't know until you play the show. You know, I mean, or unless a manager or a label representative says, everyone's bought your song, they love it. You know, like, you don't get that these days, because there's no sales. The people don't buy music the same way. It's they download it, or they're streaming it. So there's different ways to judge it. But the social media technology game gives you a direct link with your fan. You know, you can actually, hey, I love Pop Evil, and you can say thank you. You know, right there, that moment, you can actually talk. I mean, to think that one day, back in the day, I could have said hello to Eddie Vedder, or I could have said hey to Kurt Cobain, you know, I would have lost my mind. But, you know, nowadays, that it's common. You know, I mean, to release an album and not have autographs with it, or meet and greets, would be, I don't know if a fan would show up if they didn't get those things. It's almost become an expectation. So it's a whole different animal nowadays, that to give more of yourself just to survive and to promote your product. I mean, you're competing with everybody in the world now. You're not just competing with Van Halen and, you know, Metallica and a few bands around. You're competing with that Joe Schmo that played up his kids' toys, and he's got 100 million views, and you shoot a massive video and you have 10 million views. You know, it's like you're competing with any and everybody, you know, and people are making more money than musicians on YouTube by putting up pictures of their babies, you know. So it's different, twisted world out there. So we're just trying, again, the focus is just maintaining and hopefully putting the emphasis back where it should be, on the music.
You just mentioned that you think this might be the best outing lyrically as well.
Right.
So there's a couple more lyrics I'd like to go into.
Yeah.
On The Art of War, there's a line, there are no sidelines here, it's just a battleground.
Yeah.
Do you remember what mindset you were in when you wrote that?
I'm in the same mindset. It's always battle mode. You know, it's like so many people have problems with a lot of things in this world, but so many people want a voice, whether they're on their couch or on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook, or in any kind of a digital platform. But so many just want to sit on the sidelines and wait for change, someone else to do it. And it's time to, you know, it's time, if you're not happy with something, to try to be productive, to make some change. And that change starts with standing up rather than you know, sitting down and, you know, being united. You know, I think coming from America with so much division now, social classes, race, gender, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of hate in places that shouldn't be, as we're making so many strides forward in other areas, taking steps backwards in other areas. And it's important to, again, with our musical message, this album especially, the true art of war is how about finding ways to live and enjoy each other? You know, we're all human race, and this planet's only can last for so long. Why diminish taking years away from it with our, you know, the way we're polluting and the way we're living as people? So, I mean, if we can come together collectively, embracing the differences rather than alienating each other, you know, because of them. And, you know, being a minority myself, it's hard not to speak of these things, and I just can't stay blind to them. Being a musician and a frontman, it was important for me to let our fans know we are very much aware about what is going on in the world today, and, you know, we want to be a band that brings positivity to different cultures and different people, to remind us to stand united.
And is that a part of it, because you have songs like Waking Lions, Call Us Me, but then also Be Legendary, kind of academic.
Yep.
So is that where kind of the sound of the album comes from as well, that kind of the frustration or anger, but also positive?
Yeah, that it's also part of the motivation, right? I mean, that united theme, I think, goes on. If you ask me about any lyric that you're going to ask me, it's all coming from the united place. Like, being legendary is, again, it's you want to be you want to be the, I guess, the purpose for your change, and you being better and a better person. You want to make those. You want to be that legend, right? You want to go help that person next to you. You want to be the one that's lifting them up, rather than, you know, judging them for what they might not have, or why they're different from, or what you don't have that they have. You know, it's like you want to be a legend, and being a legend is being humble and learning how to coexist, because without other people we're nothing, right? I mean, the only reason any of our dreams that we have deal with other people around us. So it's important to understand that, and being a musician that tours and plays for people for a living, we definitely know how great we are we're great in this business because of the fans we have. Without them, we're nothing. And greatness is defined in so many different ways, right? What's great? Does that mean we're great because we have millions of dollars? Or does it mean we're great because we have cultural experiences that remind us that, wow, we're all so similar, and we all have the same kind of, you know, hopes and dreams. We all want to be better in life. We all want something greater. We all want to hopefully give back in a positive way. And I think that the more we continue to play and expand our brand, that's greatness for us. And we can go home and live our lives in a way with the people that are in our personal lives. Better people. Being great is being a better person. One moment, one person in that day, being a person and giving a little bit more positivity back makes you great. So, you know, I think that being a little more confident, to not be so focused on what we don't have or maybe where we're not at, just, you know, appreciate that we're great here. You have health. If you have great health and you have a great smile, use it, man, and be great now. Be a legend. So,
final question then. What is one of the best things that a fan or somebody has said to you about your music and kind of?
Oh man, this all the time. I think I can tell you the most recent thing I read today was this person wanted to know the exact lyrics of Waking Lions because he wanted to come to the first show on this next U.S. run, and he wanted the lyrics tattooed on his body accurately. So I was like, wow, that's it's always an honor when you see the tattoo come in, because someone wants a lyric permanently a part of them for life, and it's something to not take for granted. I don't even have any tattoos, you know, I wrote the song, so it's like, it's a huge honor, and it's something that, again, the responsibility comes in, where you want to be great. And again, I think that's not being afraid to say that, you know, like, oh, you're not great, come on, dude, you're not Metallica. Look, there's other things that are great other than Metallica, and yes, Metallica's absolutely great. But, you know, you want to, and so is Lemmy behind me here. But, you know, it's just, again, for the new bands up and coming, you don't want to deter them because they're going to think, oh, I'm never going to be Metallica or Lemmy, or there will never be another one. No one was in James Hetfield's face thinking he was never going to be great. He always had that open-minded dream, you know, or if he did, he wasn't letting that deter him. You know, certainly Lemmy, the same situation. So you got to embrace the greats that have come before us, but not be afraid of them, that you'll never be that. Even though it's a different era, sure, we might never be no band will maybe ever have that kind of exposure the same way ever again, because it's a different era. It's not, you know, 2 channels playing the same 10 bands on loop over and over. Again, it's that everyone you're in competition with. Anyone can post something on YouTube now. So it's so important that you stay motivated and you be great, and you learn how to be great all the time, because the greatness is in your eyes and it's what you behold it to be. And I think that the more positivity you're bringing, the more people want to come to your shows, and you can have fun together, enjoying the moment and you know, enjoying the format of music we love the most, and that's this you know, genre of rock and metal.
I think that's a good ending.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure.
All right.
Pleasure.